This week in comic books in the lands of DC, we get Justice Society of America and a lot of time shenanigans. Like, this is the time week. Everything's time based this week. For more proof, over in the lands of Marvel, we get Avengers Alpha. And that's time and multi-dimensional shenanigans going on in there. And it reads just like a DC story. I really should just pick another Marvel book to tell you about. And in the land of Independence, we get Saga, the Doomed Universe. I have no idea what this book is about. It is extremely weird. We're going to talk about that and a few other comic books. But first, let your boy Pocan Joe help you out with some of that Christmas shopping. Check this out.
Do you like coffee, tea, or cocoa? Are you looking for a great gift idea for someone who does? Hey, it's me, Jeremy. You may recognize me from my YouTube channel, The Quartering, but I'm also the founder of Coffee Brand Coffee. We're a US-based roaster with thousands of 5-star reviews from our customers. Our customers love that we roast our coffee beans fresh to order. Plus, you won't find a fresher or more delicious coffee anywhere else. And I can promise you personally that you won't find a business that is more committed to serving our customers. Coffee not your thing? We have a dozen delicious organic teas as well as 4 decadent flavors of hot cocoa. Listen, I know with the holidays it's always tough trying to find the perfect gift for family, friends, and business partners, so we made it really easy for you. Our industry-leading custom gift box builder will make the holidays a snap. Build your own custom gift box of coffee, teas, cocos, or even dark chocolate covered espresso beans and have it delivered in a high quality, ready to gift box. We even have gift cards in case you're not totally sure what to get. With 15 different varieties of coffee, a dozen organic teas, 4 varieties of hot cocoa, and even dark chocolate covered espresso beans, I know if you give Coffee Brand Coffee a chance to earn your business, you're going to be a customer for life.
Alright guys, let's jump into this week's haul and review. If this is your first time here, first off, welcome. Enjoy having you here, you bunch of weirdos. And as I'm going through these, if you see something you're like, hey, wait a second, you're missing the point, please leave a comment down below. I don't want to just throw bad stuff out there, but let's be honest, it's hard to stay on top of everything that's going on. Especially this week, I'm going to need your help because there's a lot of weird things going on.
No, it's fucking annoying.
Starting off with DC, Justice Society of America, #1. I went with the old school cover there. So they've been playing off of a lot of Golden Age. Well, they've just been running the entire gambit of time here with these particular series. And this is interesting, and it's no different. Our antagonist in this, he has some cool powers. He can distort time and focalize it. So if you have like an apple right here and you wanted to age it, you can just age the apple and not everything around you. Makes quick work of this futuristic Justice Society of America, who's nothing but villains, with the exception of Power Girl. Well, it depends on the storyline, I guess. But the rest of them are like kids of villains. Gentleman Ghost is in there. Solomon Grundy, of course. Right? So you got all those, and this guy's just walking around just killing people randomly. I'm not sure who it is. I hope it's Rip Taylor. I hope it's Rip Taylor, because that would just be so fitting with all the Golden Age stuff in here too. Oh, that would be awesome.
Nice.
But then again, if it's not, I hope it's somebody cool. But yeah, we get a lot of homages in here. Basically, the story is just time shenanigans. Why is this happening? What's the time frame set up here? Also, I'm not 100% sure on this, and this is where I definitely need your help. In this, Huntress, who's leading the Justice Society of America in this, she's the daughter of Catwoman and Batman. Oh, also, Bruce Wayne's dead in here.
Oh.
And she kind of took the role as a superhero, as a Huntress. Now, I'm familiar with the Huntress, but is that a retcon? What's going on there? Is that a thing? Am I missing a storyline someplace? Because I always thought that was just like a separate character. So that was kind of made me kind of for a second. Or are we dealing with an Elseworld story here? Or I'm not really sure. I am enjoying it though. Definitely. A lot of questions like, why is this random thing happening? I'm hoping they're doing the thing where they just put out a bunch of information and then it slowly gets broken down. Normally, I call BS on time stories. But, you know, there's always an exception to the rule, and this is definitely my exception to the rule this week until it does the big no-nos. We'll talk about those if it happens. All right, next, Blue Beetle. So This particular Blue Beetle, I don't know a whole lot about, but I really enjoyed this particular story. This is right off the cusp of the whole Dark Crisis thing that's going on in DC right now. I enjoy this. I enjoy this character. It's very fun. Just like the title suggests, it's his graduation day. He's trying to be a hero at the same time. But the aliens that where he got his tech from that makes him the Blue Beetle, apparently they're coming back to Earth and they're bringing other beetles, not just blue. The spaceships in there made it very obvious that they're different colors. Like there's a red, a yellow one, whatever. They're coming back according to Signal Woo through space stuff.
Well said.
All right, that's cool. But will this be a problem? Batman and Superman seem to think so. They're benching him. They're like, hey, you can't be involved in this right now until we know what's going on, because they really kind of control your tech, which made him wig out a few times in here. Nothing major, just small stuff. Interesting thing in here that I really found. Kid turns 18 years old at his graduation, and mom and dad on the day of his graduation are like, yeah, it's time for you to go. We've done this for 18 years, like the day of. It's like, you don't want to go to school, you don't have a job, so you're going to go away and go work in a restaurant or something like that. Here's some toilet paper. They literally gave him toilet paper. Pillows, some sheets, adios. See ya. Bye. And I was just like, oh, smart parents. But also we get a quick glimpse of a possible villain hero. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the kids are going to start calling this a cameo.
God, I hope so. I like to see.
Because that's good verbiage and all. But anyway, it is what it is. So, yeah. We've got some cool stuff going on in this book. I don't know how far I'm going to chase it down, though. It's not really my kind of read. I don't mind these as a one-off type of thing or something just kind of break up the monotony in long reads. Usually I want something with a little bit more substance to it. But we'll give it a couple of issues and see if it kind of is like, oh, no, there's some like personal things that are going to go on here. Yeah, we got a kid that's trying to find his way in the world now that he's an adult. I guess that's something you could hang on to and something we can all relate to. 18 or 24, depending on whenever you left the house. But, it's a thing. Next, pick of the week. Pick of the week, fireworks, explosions. Yes, I enjoyed this. And again, I'm an old man. So, you only get a few choices as an old man, right? You either get really, really deep into World War II history, or you get really, really deep into the Revolutionary War history, or you smoke meats.
You creepy old pedo.
Right? Like you barbecue all the time. Right? I don't mind cooking, but I'm not like trying to be that guy. So, of course, Revolutionary War for me. Because this takes place in 1776. God bless America. And it deals with the settlement of Gotham at the point, which at that time had a more old English name. Whatever. Yeah, you could say they pulled a lot of tropes in here. Of course, the witch on the outskirts of the town is, of course, poison ivy with her herbal remedies and things like that. But then again, they kind of reestablished this whole, sometimes when we talk about the old families of Gotham, we generally have no real timeline of how old these families are. Literally to the settlement of the town. That's how far back they go. And, of course, a lot of your favorites are represented in here in the roles that you would know them best by. So, like, the guy that's kind of like the sheriff and the reasonable one in the town, right? This is kind of an amalgamation of Jim Gordon. Our Batman character in here is not a Wayne, but he brings up Batman in this colonial outfit. It was just cool. I really enjoyed it. I really did. It's so hard to talk about something when I enjoy it. But the whole basis of this is that the family that was kind of setting everything up and controlling everything, and every now and then understands that sometimes you need to wash the table and restructure, right? This is a very old concept, too. I'm not going to talk about the Tree of Liberty. I'm going to let that just slide. If you want to know, comment down below.
Pliers and a blowtorch.
But it's kind of rewashing that type of thing, and how old this family is with the werewolf and everything involved in it that in recent stories has come back to Gotham to kind of, again, reset the board, if you will. I like this. I really do. If I had one gripe, just the smallest gripe, I'm not a fan of the art in it. Some of the art's really cool. Like it has these really cool moments where colonial Batman, I think we can call him, right? Just looks epically cool, and it's just like, bam, right? And then you kind of get these weird moments, like I don't know what's going on here. Like that's just I don't know. It's not a criticism to the artist. It's a personal choice for me at this point. I want to make that clear. Like I'm not bashing the artist or all three of them. Like three artists work on this, which I thought was kind of weird. I guess that would explain the dramatic change towards the end in the art, maybe. But for the most part, great story. I want to read some more of this. I hope they do like kind of revisit this type of storyline. That would be really cool. All right, moving on into Marvel we go. So, Planet Hulk, World Breaker. You may or may not remember World Breaker Hulk.
What are you talking about?
I wish this was that story. It's not the dumpster fire of the week, but it's just weird. So in this, it's not just about Hulk in this. It's about all the Hulks 1,000 years into the future on their Shikari planet, and apparently there's a religious fraction there, a cult, if you will, that are rounding up all the baby gamma infested, like we can say Hulk's offspring at this point, or all the Hulk's offspring at this point. They're gathering them all up. We don't know why yet. I'm sure it's something, weird.
He's a muppet, and I hope he dies of the incurable condition of being a little bitch.
But in this one, we kind of see Amadeus Cho, an Asian-inspired Hulk, who's kind of like a great-grandfather in this one, or a grandfather in this one, and his granddaughter, and they're going to go help save the Hulk kid that got captured. It's pretty much everything that happened in this book. Brief history of kind of Hulks in relation to this world, but nothing too deep in this. Really just kind of setting up the world in this.
That's dumb.
I'm not into it. It's just not my thing. Next, Avengers Alpha. So this is doing what DC did when they did Prime characters. So you had like Superman Prime, Batman Prime, right? The Nexus of the universe, which is weird because Marvel actually uses Nexus as well as sort of their Prime characters. Anyway, throughout their entire multiverse. In this one, our current Avengers and our Avengers from the BC kind of do the clash. The heroes kind of meet up and they don't understand that they're both heroes and they fight a little bit, right? And then they break away and realize that there's a bigger enemy. And of course, it's Doom, and Mephisto's there as well. They kind of teamed up. They're trying to enslave and kill Avengers and just take over bad guy stuff. They're doing bad guy stuff. And in this one, we see the Prime for the Avengers Prime character who kind of watches a tower again. It's very DC-ish. Like it's very DC. Like I was expecting to see Captain Carrot in the tower. This is at that point. It's very DC. And we even got our kind of DC knockoff characters in this, the Black Hawk guy as well. Cool art in this, right? Like just stuff that just grabs your attention. And I like this whole idea of the DC, or not the DC, but the Avengers from BC era. I really like that concept, especially the Ghost Rider one, the guy riding around on the mammoth. But in this, we find out that Robbie Reyes is the Prime, right? The #1 Ghost Rider in all the multiverse. But for some reason, he can't turn on his power. And I was like, why him? Like, don't get me wrong, he's a cool character, right? But why would he be the one? Like, especially when you have these other ones that you've established as being the strongest, like the Native American one, right? It's like, apparently she's like the all in all of Ghost Riders. But now in the multiverse, Robbie Reyes is the Prime. I don't know. I think Marvel kind of needs to sit down and I mean this, like I'm rooting for you. I'm not making fun of anybody over at Marvel, but I'm rooting for you. I think maybe y'all should kind of sit down and kind of make sense of some of this stuff, because it just seems like it's all over the place at this point, at least in this title run. And a lot of things you've been doing, kind of gearing up for this, it just seems all over the place. But not the worst book out there.
You Yoruba trash! Who the fuck do you think you are, wasting my time? You medium talent piece of shit.
Alright, moving on. Next, Strange Academy, still a heartwarming story. So you may remember in issue 1 of the finals, there's a fraction in the university, and a couple of kids ran over there, and a couple of kids stayed at the academy, and then stuff really sucks over here. So like the majority of them came back to the academy in this one, and the first thing they got to do is clean, right? Because the place is a mess, and the mindless ones are gone for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. That's why I picked this cover, because, yeah, getting a bunch of kids to clean something. Good luck.
I got a red card for elbowing a girl in her neck.
Anyway, so we find out that Calvin, who was at the school here but lost his magical powers, did some shenanigans, and has to go away. Apparently, Gaslamp has got him kind of trapped in a magical woo-woo, suck the magic out of you, or essence out of you type of thing. And students find out, and they're going to go save their friend, and they pull a rope-a-dope on the old Gaslamp there to try to get their friend back out of there. And we don't know if it's successful. We do know they set off a magic woo-woo bomb that does something. Great art in this, by the way. Like, I know Scotty Young's not doing the art in this. Roberto Ramos is, which is fitting with Scotty Young's story and his artwork. Like, that's always seems to be on point for me. And there's always like a heartwarming message to their story. So definitely good stuff there. Highly recommend that series. All right, so here it comes. Here comes the weird one. Saga of the Doomed Universe. It's very, very 80s. They even have a cover kind of making fun of the 80s. But two things are going on here. One, you got this kind of based comic book story. You know, superhero villains finally figuring out how to pull shenanigans to kill all the superheroes. And apparently one that has like this really lame power of memorization. Memorization's my power. What does that mean? Anyway, he has photographic memory.
Well, then I'll talk to you in 20 minutes or so, Sling Blade.
And apparently he's the only one that's going to survive this. Our main antagonist here is in love with somebody, but you know, it's not very reciprocated back, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then there's this weird narration over the entire book that a guy's talking about some sort of conspiracy that happened at Saga in the title, comic books, a fictional comic book, I'm assuming at that point, company at that time, because I'm not aware of one. A lot of tropes in here. I think that's the big thing, especially from the 80s, you know, like atomic bomb this, atomic bomb that, heat wave this, you know, whatever. But the narration really does pull you out of the main story, which I'm still deciding if the main story is just like a gimmick type story, because it's very similar to something you would see in The Boys, right? Or is the narration like part of the story? Is one of the characters? Like, I'm not connecting the dots here. I'm not connecting. Like, I'm lost, right? And I want to like this. It seems pretty cool, especially since it was my only independent. But I'm just, I don't know what they're doing. Right? Will I pick up issue 2? At this point, it's just mostly curiosity for me. Like, I want this to make sense to me. So that's where I'm at there. So that's my haul for this week. Hey, thanks for swinging by as always. Please feel free to hit that like button, share the comic book review, or just comment down below, especially if you're like, I know why, or you have a theory about it. Definitely let me know below. I always respond to comments. So guys, I don't have anything else. Hope you guys are gearing up for Christmas, Hanukkah, the holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. It's all right. Other than that, I got nothing else, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.